That is the definition of Bodhisattva. Is that clear? So your Bodhisattva means, of course, we all are practicing Dharma, and even sometimes some people, you have great compassion, great loving kindness to all sentient beings. Still you are not Bodhisattva. When you have Bodhicitta, then you become Bodhisattva. And you just entered the first path to enlightenment among the 5 paths, right? So that is Bodhisattva. Okay. Now the Shantideva himself. This is that is the real text, and here, respectfully I prostrate myself to the Sugatas who are endowed with the Dharmakaya, as well as to their noble sons and to all who are worthy of veneration. So this is same translation, Jimmy. This is the same translation, right? I just read out. Respectfully I prostrate myself to the Sugatas who are endowed. Is the same you have got? Okay. With the Dharmakaya as well. Okay, that is the prostration. So they make prostration at the beginning. So there are why they do so. There are 2 reasons to do so. One temporary reason and then one ultimate reason. The temporary reason is that to be able to complete the writing that book. So in order to be able to complete writing the book, you also need merit, because you can meet with obstacles and you will not be able to complete the book and so forth. So for that reason, you prostrate, pay homage to the higher beings, so that you succeed. And then you succeed in writing. You will be successful. And then the second one, the ultimate reason is, so through this effort, the virtuous action, virtuous effort, the good effort, then all sentient beings be liberated, all sentient beings be enlightened. So there, to do the prostration or pay homage, there are 2 reasons, and that is all the texts the same. Every text they pay homage at the beginning, right at the beginning they pay homage. All the texts, you are familiar with that, all texts that you have came across, you might have noticed there at the beginning there's a prostration or homage, paying homage. That is for that reason, okay? So here, whom he is paying respect. So Sugatas, that is Buddhas, and what he says, who are endowed with the Dharmakayas. So, of course, the Buddhas have 3 kayas, right? So Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the main kaya. Through Dharmakaya, then the Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya elaborate, right? Elaborates. Manifest, yes. Yeah, manifest. So Dharmakaya is kind of main source. So he might have mentioned because of that. But otherwise, when he says Sugatas, and then all are there, But he said Sugata, the adjective is, who is an adjective, right? who is endowed with the Dharmakaya. You know. And then it says to their noble sons, I have this to their noble sons, you know. I make obeisance to the Sugatas and their sons. It says Sugata and their sons. So in Tibetan also Sugatas and their sons. But they here noble sons. So anyway, the Bodhisattvas, they are called sons of Buddha. Because they belong to Bodhisattvas, they belong to Buddha's family. Because Bodhisattvas, they are the ones who will become Buddha, right? So they are always called Buddha's sons. So that is the paying homage, right? Paying homage at the beginning. And not only to them, and to all who are worthy of veneration. And he always also would like to pay homage to the ones who deserve homage. To all, it says to all those worthy of praise. So not only praise, he pay homage. Charukulum, no, they should sejedang. So Charukulam Kubarcha said this. So that Dharmakaya, do you know what is Dharmakaya? There are two kinds of Dharmakaya. So the wisdom Dharmakaya and natural Dharmakaya or nature Dharmakaya. So all the phenomena are empty, right? Ultimately they are empty. So they are empty by nature. And they are empty right from the beginning and forever. So that state is also that state is also with the Buddhas and also with us, everybody. The samsara and beyond samsara, all it is applicable to all of this is applicable to all samsara and beyond samsara, right? And then wisdom Dharmakaya is the mind of Buddhas. So the Buddha's mind, omniscient mind. The omniscient mind that is achieved through huge amount of practice of Dharma, right? Like accumulation of merit for countless eons and so forth. So that is Buddha's mind. There's a wisdom Dharmakaya. And then through that Dharmakaya and then manifests, Sambhogakaya. And from there, and Sambhogakaya is also could not be seen by everybody. So then Nirmanakaya. Nirmanakaya also has three kinds of Nirmanakaya. So Supreme Nirmanakaya, and then the kind of reincarnation, Dharmakaya, and then skillful artist Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya. So there are 3 kinds of them. So that is Dharmakaya, and then 3 kayas, right? So he paid to the homage to them, and then he made a promise that he is going to write his book. So they always make promise at the beginning. So the noble people, when they make a promise, then they never break that. So it is important to make a promise. So that promise will lead you to complete this book, to write this book completely. So for that reason, they make a promise at the beginning. So then they cannot break the promise. Also, and what he made promise, here I shall explain how to engage in the vows of the Buddha's children, the meaning of which I have condensed in accordance with the scriptures. Okay, you understand? In brief and in accordance with the scripture, the teachings of Buddha. Okay, I shall describe the undertaking of the observance of the sons of the Sugatas. All right. So, how to, he said, I will explain the conduct of Bodhisattvas according to the teaching of Buddha. That is the meaning. But you know that in translation, of course, you have to tell exactly what is written here. But the meaning is that I will tell you how to get engaged into the conduct of Bodhisattvas according to the teaching of Buddha. Okay. Then he says that is making promise. Now he has made a promise, and also when you write a book according to the tradition, you have to make a kind of whole summary at the beginning. About what you are going to write. So that is, he said, how to get engaged into the way of Bodhisattva's life. That he is going to explain. So that is the summary of the book. Summary of the book, you know. So this is the way how they write write books, you know. And then he says, then he says, there is nothing here that has not been explained before, and I have no skill in the art of rhetoric, right? Rhetoric. Therefore, lacking any intention to benefit others, I write this in order to acquaint it to my mind. Okay? So, nothing new will be said here, nor have I any skill in composition. Therefore, I do not imagine that I can benefit others. I have done this to perfume my own mind. Now that is There is also, when you write a book, all the traditional scholars, acharyas, and among Tibetan scholars, they also do this at the beginning, so that you subdue your pride. Because I know this much, I know everything. That kind of proud shouldn't be there. If you have a pride, and then that can be an obstacle. That can be an obstacle to complete the writing. So you shouldn't have a pride. You shouldn't be proud. So in order to suppress your pride, always they say, "Oh, I know nothing. I do not know. I have very little knowledge," and so forth. So here also says, there's nothing new that I have not explained earlier. I have nothing new to say that has not explained earlier. And then also there's the skillful composing. So there is rhetoric, art of rhetoric, to make the sentence very nice and maybe poetic and so forth. And also in Sanskrit, the Sanskrit language is a very complicated language, so it has some certain, how to use the words, and if one word has so many meanings, so you have to know how to express, how to use that word in right time at the right place. So that is art of rhetoric, So he said, I don't know that. He might have written in Sanskrit. So he said, because almost all the Mahayana sutras, they are in Sanskrit. All the Theravada sutras, they are in Pali, right? So this is Mahayana text, so it must have written in Sanskrit. So he said, I don't know about that. I'm not skillful in that. Therefore, I have no intention, and I have no hope that it will benefit others. That if you have no intention, if you have no hope that that this book will benefit others, then why you are writing this book? I am writing this book I write this in order to acquaint it to my mind. Or it says like that, right? I have done this to perform my own mind. So it says, I write this to remind myself about the Bodhisattva's conduct, so that I can be aware of the conduct of Bodhisattva's way of life. Bodhisattva's way of life, right? So that I can keep on practicing. So that was what he was trying to say here. And the decision is Samandala Dalame Rangi Yila comes in here. Then there's nothing here that has not, no, that is for due to acquaintance with what is wholesome. The force of my faith may for a short while increase because of these words. If however these words are seen by others equal in fortune to myself, it may be meaningful for them. You know what you understand? No, maybe not. While doing this, the search of my inspiration to cultivate what is skillful increases. Moreover, should another of the very same humors as me also look at this, then he too may benefit from it. So these are the two translations. Now you understand? Noah. So he says anyway, doing so, he thinks, doing so, that doing so, then his practice and the maybe thinking of the practice of Dharma and his faith in Bodhisattva's way of life will increase by writing this. Because he think of this again and again, and it will increase. And if maybe sometimes if somebody who is similar to me, so I mean who is similar to him, his level, you know, his level, who are same at his same level, because higher level they may not be benefited by what he has written here, but same level they might be benefited. So this is also possible that people who are same level as me might get some benefit from this book. So that is the meaning of what he just said. So it will become a little purposeful. And then he says, hello, 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 you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. And then he says, leisure and endowment are very hard to find. And since they accomplish what is meaningful for humanity, you hear, right? No problem. If I do not take advantage of them now, how will such a perfect opportunity come about again? So the opportune moment is extremely hard to meet. Once met, it yields the welfare of mankind. If the advantage is neglected now, how will this meeting come again? So that is the translation. So he says here, the precious human form with what do you call that? Leisures and endowments. So 8 leisures and 10 endowments. That you know, right? Yeah, no need to explain, right? So that is this kind of a human precious form. To find this kind of human precious form is very difficult. It's very, very difficult. And when you have it, then it has a great value. Because you can accomplish big things. Hard enough, then you can accomplish whatever you want. That means whatever you want means not to become rich or to be the boss of the world, and not worldly things we are talking here, you know. There were, you know, if you want to get a good future lives, you can prepare with this human form. Full preparation can be done through with this precious human form. Not only with this kind of human form, you can other human forms. That, you know, we just talked 7 billion, around 7 billion people are in the world, but very few Buddhists are there, and among the Buddhists, very few Mahayana Buddhists are there. So we are very few. But when you have this precious human form, only then you can do. I mean, you can make a full preparation to have a good rebirth in next life. If you want to get out of samsara, or you want to be liberated from samsara, then you can do it with this human form. And not only that, if you want to be fully enlightened, also you can do with this human form. Other human forms cannot. So there is a very useful, meaningful, and very precious. That's why it is called precious human form. But it is very difficult to find. It is very difficult to get, actually. If it is easy to get, this time we cannot prepare to be liberated. Okay, no problem. Next time I will do it. Or next time you can do it. You can't do it. Then the next time, another time we will do it. So like that. But it is not that easy. It's very, very difficult to get the precious human form. So you must realize this first. That is very important. If you don't realize, then you know, there's not much feeling. Then I must do this time. I must be very careful. I must take the full advantage. You don't feel in that way. If you don't feel in that way, then you wouldn't be very serious. If you're not serious, then you will be wasting your opportunity, isn't it? So therefore, you have to realize how difficult to get this. So there are many reasons I've given how difficult to get this precious human form. But the main reason is I think everything has a cause. Without cause, there wouldn't be any result. So that is, I say, that is law of nature. That is always there. That's been always there, and it's for everybody. You know, if you don't have a good cause, good cause, then you cannot have a good result. If you don't have, you know, how do you say, good preparation for food, then you cannot have a good food. You prepare very badly. If you cook very badly and you expect very tasty food, cannot be. You know. That is the law, and it applies to everybody. Everybody, not only human beings, other beings as well. So there's a law of nature. It goes like that. So this also a human form has need a cause, you know. So the cause, how the cause if the result is good, the cause also must be good. If you have a good car, then you need a good metal. You need a good mechanic. You need a good manufacturer. Everything has to be good. Then you can have a good car, right? So this human precious form is a very good result. And for sure, the master course is a very good one. So since the course is very good, and then it costs more. A good car, good metal costs more money, so it is natural. So similarly, the human form, the ordinary human form is, the cause is maybe not that difficult, comparatively not very difficult, because the result is not that good. And then precious human form, the results are very good. How good it is, you can get unbelievable things through this human form. And this has a tremendous good qualities in this form. So the cause, of course, has to be a very good and very special, right? It has to be a very special. So special cause, of course, the special cause needs a special. It has to be a very difficult. What? Somebody said something? No. Okay. Special cause. To get that special cause, it is also not so easy. It couldn't be so easy, right? So the precious human form is very difficult to get. Can you imagine now? Can you think that? Okay, good. So then you can be convinced. Oh yes, he says precious human form is very difficult to get. So now I realize this is very difficult. This time I got it. I cannot afford to waste. Okay? So you must have that feeling. So when you get that feeling, then it's easy to practice Dharma. Alright, so you know what is this? What was that? And then you know what is the cause for precious human form. Do you know that? It is, you have to know. You know that? Okay, you know? No. You know? So some know, some don't know, so you know. So you know that, right? Mr. Lee? Yeah. That is, of course, the morality, all human form, or upper realm form. To take upper realm form, you need the morality. So morality we have already discussed. So what are the moralities? Patimoksha morality, the Bodhisattva vow, and mantra vow, tantra vow, whatever you call it. You know, they are there. So the basic is, even you take one pledge, that is also morality. You practice that all your life. You can take rebirth in upper realm, one of the upper realms. And if you take 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 10, that is even better, right? And that is the base, foundation. And then you need prayer. prayer is, what is prayer? I told many times. Prayer means you wish, make wish. Oh, I must take a good rebirth in my future life, my next life. Whenever you think of Dharma, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, then you make the wish, I must take a good rebirth. Good rebirth means a rebirth with the facilities to practice Dhamma. That is good rebirth. Good rebirth doesn't mean take a rebirth in big family, rich family and so forth, and a nice house. No, that is not, it doesn't mean that, It means that the conditions to practice Dhamma are met. Then that is considered good rebirth. So that you can continue your practice, And then so you make prayers. Prayer means pray. You pray for them. Means you make wish, aspiration, wishing. And that is again and again, not one time, 2 times, every day basis. And that prayer also should be uncontaminated. If you make prayers for this life, if you make wishes with the motivation for this life, that is considered contaminated prayer. So this prayer or wish should be uncontaminated. Okay? So that is prayer. And then it has to be supported by the practice of, helped or supported by the practice of 6 paramitas. So 6 paramitas, generosity, so that is we make offerings to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, that is practice of generosity. And if you give to the beggars, to the needy ones, things like money, clothes, even good words, you might have read that Buddha said when Buddha was there was a beggar and very poor, and he said, I'm so poor. Why I'm so poor? Other people are rich. And how to become rich? He asked Buddha, And the Buddha said, you must practice givingness. You must be generous. Then you can become rich. Otherwise, there is no cause to become rich. And then he said, I have nothing. How I can be generous? And he said, oh, you have many things to give. You can smile at people. You can have a good face expression. You can give. You can give good words. Praise other people. Good words. There are so many things you can give. So that was the advice from Buddha, So all these practices are considered in generosity, one of the paramitas. Then morality, that is, we are practicing. And then patience. Patience has so many levels, So some people, maybe they're very aggressive, and so they need more practice. Otherwise, normally, at a certain level, we have patience. But we have to increase our patience and reduce our anger, control our anger, because anger doesn't do it. It will come later also in the book. So anyway, that kind of patience. And then effort, we have to make efforts. That little effort, greater effort, whatever, So that is also practice of that comes practice of the paramitas. You know paramita? Okay, great, wonderful. And then concentration meditation. We don't have karma binding shamatha, of course not. But concentration, little concentration. We do some puja, we imagine Tara, Buddha, Tsongkhapa, the Tsongkhapa the Great. We imagine those things and we try to concentrate. So this is, we are practicing. And so then the practice of wisdom. The wisdom, ultimate practice of wisdom is the practice of realization of emptiness. But we haven't realized emptiness, but we have some kind of understanding of emptiness. And through that we can develop our understanding of emptiness. And on top of that, we have, right from the beginning when we were born, we have that potential that this is right, this is wrong. We can differentiate, we can distinguish. This is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. This kind of wisdom we have. And that is the base of our wisdom. We can develop that wisdom into the realization of emptiness. The emptiness, realization of emptiness is realizing the ultimate truth. It means ultimate, how do you say? The best. That is the ultimate. So it will lead to there, So that kind of, so we must practice some kind of the 6 paramitas. And these 3 things together, that is the cause of the precious human form. Understand? So if we want a precious human form, so then also then we have to practice this. We have to collect the cause, and these 3 are the causes for precious human form. This precious human form is very, very precious, because sometimes, the other day somebody was asking, maybe somebody, many of you are here the other day, right? So the reciting of Amitabha and taking birth in the land of Amitabha. So that is also a very good thing. But ultimately you have to come here, this world, because the Bodhisattvas in the land of Amitabha, they made prayers to be able to take rebirth in the world, in this world. But to be able to be enlightened, ultimately you have to take a rebirth in this world. That's another reason. And the other reason is that if you practice Dharma in this world, that is faster to reach to the enlightenment. It is faster. If you live in the land of Amitabha, it is very pleasant, no suffering. No suffering, no money problem, no sickness. But it will take more time to get much more. It takes more time to get to enlightenment. So that's why they pray, please bless me that I be born in human form. So that is faster way, to be enlightened. But there are other things also. So that is what we were talking about. We were talking about it's very difficult to find it. And he says, and this time, if I don't take the advantage, or if I don't practice, then in the future, how I will get this kind of precious human form. So that was the verse. So we end here, okay? It's almost 9:30. So 9:30, up to 9:30 we have time. And also maybe you are getting bored. Too long time. So if you have questions, that's 1 or 2 questions. If you have, you can ask. If you don't have any questions, then we can stop here. Okay, prayer also. Actually, I have written, translated into English. I did this for a lady in England. A friend of mine, a lady in England. So I did that. So, but if you cannot do that, the whole prayer is my translation. I shortened for her, so it is just half a page. So even you cannot do it, you must recite these 4 names of Buddha. So because that is a blessing, blessed by the Buddha, those 4 Buddhas, so that all the smell eaters, they get their allocation. Otherwise, even if you give, they don't get, because they have no karma to get, because they're there because of their karma, so they have to starve. That is their karma. So if otherwise Buddhas will give every time. Nobody will starve, but they cannot. You cannot help them. So if you recite those names of Buddhas, they will get some at least. Yeah, that is how normally you feed. And there are other ways like dead pain, puja, and those all are mostly for hungry ghosts. Yes. More questions? No questions? Okay. So no questions. We stop here. We will do this Changzhou Senjo Rinpoche, right? That is our dedication. So we dedicate our merit that we have accumulated from 7:30 to 9:30. So today, and we dedicate these two for the Bodhisattva. Okay. And I hope all of you will practice what I have just told you. Kondo Kalachakra Santideva Changzhou Senjo Rinpoche Maje Panam Eju Deva Nyamba Meba Yang Kone Kondo Bewa Changzhou Senjo Rinpoche Maje Panam Eju Deva Nyamba Meba Yang Kone Kondo Bewa Changzhou Senjo Rinpoche Maje Panam Eju Gaya, Nyamba, Meba, Yang, Ome,